Hello and welcome to another episode here on my channel. My name is Ken Small and today we have to talk about PlayStation exclusives, Uncharted 4 and what Sony has planned for all the PC users out there, because Sony actually had an investor meeting and was talking to the most important people to them. Yes, the investors, not you as a fan. You're not that important as long as you give them money. But they have been talking about the things they have planned of the console brand for the PlayStation exclusives, and it's a lot. So let's have a look at this immediately. So this is the off-console segment, and they are focusing directly on Horizon Zero Dawn. And Horizon Zero Dawn already made a return of investment of 250% plus as of the end of March 2021, which is like the first quarter for them. And I can only assume that this is the return of investment on PC only. So the PC alone gave them back a return of investment of 250%, which as the first Sony exclusives on the PC, and also which had some issues at launch. Let's not forget that the PC port was a little bit could have been better. This is pretty great. It also created a lot of new fans for their IP, which probably means when Horizon Forbidden West is coming out, or when they are finally showing some gameplay this Thursday, then there will be a lot of people who want to play this. They don't necessarily want to wait too long for the PC version, and they might go to buy a PlayStation. So this already made a lot of sense for Sony. Then there's also, they have new geographies. And the thing is with the geographies, you can see here China, Russia, and India, and they're very much PC focused. Consoles are not very big in those countries. It's the PC, which also has a little bit to do with the pricing and so on and so forth. But those other markets Sony has been trying to get into for decades at this point, and it just didn't work. I already made a video about this a few months ago where I talked about those issues that Sony has been trying to get into those countries. And yes, even though in India PlayStation is like the console, it's still not as big as Sony hoped for. So unfortunately for them, they have been trying for years to get in there, and it seems like with their PC release, they finally managed to do that. More PC releases are planned, like Days Gone, which is already out and is doing pretty good on the PC, and Uncharted 4. Wait. Yeah, Sony is just casually announcing here that apparently they bring Uncharted 4, Thief's End, to the PC. They haven't done this officially yet, like there was no trailer or Twitter or anything. This was only to the investors, but because it's open, everyone can see that. So yeah, Uncharted, A Thief's End is coming to the PC, which is fantastic. But I also hope that they are bringing the Uncharted collection to PC first, because the games are somewhat linked, at least with the characters, and when you are starting with the last game, then you might get a little bit confused. I know I will get confused because I think I've only seen a few playthroughs of the Uncharted series, but I can't remember anything anymore. And I'm like, yeah, maybe I might want to combine that to play the Uncharted collection before I actually play A Thief's End. And I have seen some interesting reactions about this on the internet already, where people are like, yeah, this is fine. This is fine, as long as they're getting the old crap and the old releases. Like, as long as they are not getting PC releases around the same time as we console players, I don't really care for this. You might want to sit tight on that one, because Sony will narrow the window more and more and more. Like, they start with games where they know that people will not be very pissed when they are coming to PC, and they're now collecting data, tons of data, and those are the first two bigger games which now came out on the PC, which are already a little bit older, besides of Days Gone. Days Gone is actually not that old. It's just, what, a year when that game came out? So, well, around 2 years at that point. But yeah, my memory when it comes to time is not always the best. But it's like, yeah, those are still like some older games, but they made tons of money for Sony, and they also get a lot of good reviews. So I would say we are seeing this more in the foreseeable future. Then also a very important announcement here is PlayStation Studio is coming to mobile. Yay, mobile games. It's a big market, and it's a market to get into, especially when you want to make a dent in Asia, which you can already see. Like, the phone market is always the biggest market in Asia. Has been now for decades. But the second biggest market is the PC. So the PC is going pretty well so far, and now they will try to get somehow in the mobile market. So we will definitely see more of that. They are also talking a little bit about the show, which is the highest paying user spend of any sports title in the US PlayStation Store, period, since the game launch, and now a multi-platform IP. Just a quick remark here. I totally agree with what Sony is saying, but Sony said it themselves. The decision that the show will be a multi-platform IP didn't came from Sony. It actually came from the league, and they were like, yeah, so we want you to bring this to other consoles. And Sony was like, what? What do you mean by that? Can we not? No, we already like talked to Xbox on this, and yeah, it's already coming to that platform as well. So of course they now make this look a little bit to the investors as if they had the idea to make more money, and it's like, no, you admitted it yourself. That's not how it worked, because people were actually a little bit pissed about this, that this is also coming out on Xbox and on Game Pass at the same day. And so he was like, no, this wasn't us. We didn't make that decision. And now they are selling it to the investors the other way. I just find that funny. They also want to develop more service-led experience within first-party roosters. What does that mean? Well, more live service games, or games as a service, which is the GaaS. If you're like, hooray, more live service games, that's exactly what we needed. We will see how that goes. And release both on and off console. Now, this is very important to note. You can read this in both ways. You can just read this as, okay, they're releasing a first-party game, and then at some point it will come to console, to PC, right? Or you can read it as it will release at the same time. And I will be honest, right now, Sony has a problem. Sony is a little bit in a pickle. And you might say, what? Have you seen the numbers of PlayStation as of late? They are doing fantastic. What are you talking about? Well, they are doing fantastic. That is exactly their problem. You might have noticed that getting a PlayStation 5, depending on where you live, is kind of problematic. So that means there is still a huge untapped market for the PlayStation, but that also means whenever they release a game, there's a huge potential for people not be able to play the game because they're not getting a PlayStation. And that can be the worst. So there might be actually a chance that Sony might consider to release games at the same time on the PC, or with 1 or 2 months in between when they are coming to PlayStation, as long as they still have the problem to deliver those consoles to the owners around the world. And maybe at some point when they realize, man, do we really want to stop that now? Since we get all that money, it might be tough for Sony to say at some point, okay, we are not releasing games at the same point anymore as the console release, and we will go back to the old system of the console exclusives, because again, Investors will not be happy when you are trying to explain to them that you're now cutting some money. They don't care for idealism or console wars or like the image of PlayStation exclusives. In the end, they care for the return of their investment. And when you tell them, hey, we are now cutting the PC release at the same time as the consoles, just because now we can deliver all those consoles, they might not be happy about that. Not at all. But yeah, this is very interesting. Seems like we are getting Uncharted. I hope the Uncharted collection is also coming to PC, and we are getting more PlayStation games. That's fantastic for me and probably for a lot of PC gamers. So I'm pretty much convinced that in 1 or 2 years, Sony will do exactly the same thing as Xbox does, because they're making a lot of money and their companies. So that's exactly what they want to do. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like. If you're new to this channel, you want to see more gaming news, thoughts videos, previews, reviews, gameplay, the whole shebang, then I would appreciate if you might consider to subscribe. And if you want to stream me live with my community, you can do so on trovo.live/chaosmo. You'll find the link in the description. And thank you so much for watching, and we will be back soon. Bye bye.